What's up, Sports-A-Delic, Cigar Series fans? Hey, we got a real treat here today. We got none other than the brand ambassador for Cohiba. That's the man with the plan, Sean Williams, and
How
he's
you
gonna
doing? What's going on?
he's gonna share some secrets with us. Come on
I
over in
love
the
that.
studio. Come on over here in the studio.
How you doing?
Sean Williams, what's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on, Rema? How you doing?
I'm doing okay, sir. Doing
Good.
okay.
Good.
I had such a beautiful day here in Georgia, and so I said, let me step on outside for this one.
It is. It's beautiful. It's just a wonderful thing. Yeah.
It is. It is. It is. I'm gonna start in with this because I like to, get everybody else's thoughts. A lot of
Okay.
people probably don't know that you're a Saints fan. Your coach is retired, which was kind of out of left field in my opinion. Like I didn't know he was trying to get
Yeah.
out of there. And Jameis Winston, I hate that he went down because he was really looking like the Jameis Winston from college.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about that being a
Well, it's
fan?
sort of the same thing. We had I didn't know what to think about Jameson going into last season. I hope for the best, obviously, with him. He showed some flashes of brilliance early in his career, and then kind of just fell out of favor. Had a ton of touchdowns and a ton of interceptions. So when he came to the Saints, I didn't know what to expect. But I like the fact that he was willing to sort of be a student again. He spent a year, on the bench under Breeze. For very little money, as it goes for a veteran quarterback, just to really have a shot to learn. And when he came in, he took advantage of it, and we were looking like we were going to have a solid season and
Yeah,
maybe make a run for the NFC championship. I mean, really, I thought we had a shot. And then he goes down, and the season goes with it. And Peyton retires. So
right.
yeah, I'm just sort of hoping that we're not going to be in the wilderness, but I don't know how we won't be. I mean, it seems like it's just a total rebuild right now, which nobody has a stomach for that, but it is what it is.
Well, I'm sitting over here as a Washington commander. We have been in a rebuild for the last 25, 30 years. When you talk about don't know what to expect from an organization, Washington comes to mind. I mean, we are just, I don't know.
And I'm
Uh,
still trying to understand the name Commanders. Like that's you take 2 years, and that's where you land, Commanders.
yeah, Sean, I know it's sad, it's pitiful. I know,
Okay, okay, okay.
I know. I said the same thing. Like
Yeah.
I like Washington football team. It's
I
better than
mean,
this.
yeah, I don't know, man. There's a number of names that could have come. First off, why not reach out to a Native American nation somewhere up in the DMV area and forge a partnership, a substantive partnership, sort of like speaking of James Winston, Florida State and the Seminoles. Like it can be done, right?
Right.
Um, and do something meaningful. Take something that could have been a negative and make something meaningful out of it. But what do I know?
Yeah.
How many
Well,
cigars do you
we're talking about Daniel Snyder. Meaningful in his name just don't seem to be connected. And there's a lot going on with this wild investigation, and
Mhm. Mhm.
and truthfully,
That's a whole another subject, so to speak. Yeah.
well, let's hope that he is forced to sell the team at this point.
Mm.
That's what I
Okay.
want. We need just something because since '99 when he took over to now, it has just been one thing after another. Our head trainer, they had the DEA raid our training facility because our head trainer was engaging in illegal prescription painkillers.
I don't know how I missed that. I missed that though. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
and I've always said something is going on because we stay injured in skilled positions. Um,
Wow.
and when it comes to being an athlete, your best season is your off season. And I'm saying something is not going on with the training because I mean they catch a ball, they land on the ground, and they're out for the season.
Wow.
And that's because your head trainer obviously, had some other stuff going on.
Apparently, wow.
Yeah.
That's
But
heavy. Wow.
yeah, that's just a plethora, just a tiny bit of the plethora of
Yeah.
trash that we have going on. So,
Wow.
but why don't you take time to share with the viewers? See, because I know, like, if I'm not, was it Rising? Was it Rising of the Sun? Something like that. Your first cigar? Because a lot of
The
people
first
don't.
cigar I ever did, like ever.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Uh, that you have your own cigar company.
Yeah,
Um,
the brand was called El Primer Mundo.
yeah, El Primer Mundo.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
My red label, which was Maduro, and then I had a blue label, which is Connecticut. That was back in 2006. Then in 2007, I put out my black label, which was a Rosado wrapper. Um, and I didn't really start giving names to my cigars until League of Miami, and then Epiphania, Clase Reserva, La Hermandad. Yeah, I never had anything called Rising of the Sun, though. So
I don't know. I think somebody had translated for me. I guess El
El
Primer.
Primer Mundo means the first world.
I knew it was something first.
Mhm.
Forgive me, but I knew it was something. I just couldn't think of what it was. But
Mhm.
um, I just remember that. But yeah, it was excellent. I enjoyed them,
Thank you.
and like I said, they were all good. And it's rare that a smaller guy in the business, as they say, a lot of times they break in with a cigar, but it really just tastes like a factory blend of some sort that was kind of sitting off to the side, and they kind of rebranded. And because I remember talking to Dr. J, and he said that he's been approached many times about
Mhm.
the cigar piece, but that was his fear. I didn't want them to just put my name on some garbage, but to go through the whole process. And
Understandable. Yeah, yeah,
right, because
yeah.
and I know that Ray Lewis and a couple other guys, did that, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Now I will say, did you have a chance to ever smoke Carl Malone's cigar?
I have not, ironically, no. Huh.
Yeah, but it's very good. But he said he was in the trenches. He said it was a 2-3 year process, and he said I was out there smelling the tobacco leaves, because I wanted something that was true to my palate. If
Good
it's
enough.
gonna
Yeah,
be mine, it's gonna be mine.
yeah.
But why don't you just take time to share, a bio about Sean Williams?
Well, you kind of touched on it. I mean, I started my own brand back in 2006. El Primer Mundo put out a number of cigars, probably 11 different front marks over a 10 or 11 year period until General Cigar, who owns Cohiba, approached me to see if I'd be interested in being the guy out front for Cohiba, and you know, had some conversations, a few phone calls, one actual sit down meeting over a 4 or 5 month period, and and had to get myself to the point where I was comfortable with the idea of walking away from a brand that I created and ran on my own for 10 years, and after a while, after kind of looking at the opportunity and kind of getting an idea of what their vision was with the brand, and what my vision would be and how those things align, seemed like the right move, and it certainly has turned out to be just that. So it's coming up on 5 years now, crazy, but it's been wonderful. Yeah.
Right. Well, I can honestly say this. Before, I've always enjoyed Cohiba,
Mhm.
but I knew that something different was going on before I actually met you. Um, because now it's like Cohiba is like, it's like, it's sexy. It's like, before it was just, okay, Cohiba. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I mean,
And now it has that, uh, that like that tall, dark, and handsome appeal. You know, because it's like
No,
now.
no, it just has a personal touch. That's all. That's all.
Well, obviously it does because it's like now as women, because we've talked about this in our circle as women. You know, before seeing a guy smoke a Cohiba, it was like, okay, he's smoking a Cohiba. But now with the rebranding, so to speak, or it looks like rebranding to us, we're like, you know, yeah, he's pretty debonair over there. You know, because before I'm just telling you, it just seemed like it was dry. And hats off to General understanding we needed to, you know, do something different with this because, like I said, it's nice now. I like it.
Well, good. That's all that matters. That's all. For whatever reasons you like it, I just care that you like it. And speaking of liking, you see the chyron on the bottom of your screens, people. Please like and subscribe. All right, tune into this, lady.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I appreciate that as well. Um, would you talk about this blue label because it's like you said, and I tell people all the time, do not sleep on the blue. Do not sleep on this blue label.
Well,
So,
people, because it's the most moderately priced of all the cigars in the lineup. People just assume that, oh, well, it's not good or it's not whatever. It is really a good cigar. I mean, it's for a number of reasons.
right,
Um, if you look in the Cohiba portfolio, we don't have anything that tastes like anything else in the portfolio. Like every cigar stands on its own with its own profile for a reason and by design. And when you look at the blue, it really, really represents the best of Honduras. You're talking the wrapper and binder of both Olancha San Agustin, which is our farms in Honduras near the Guatemalan border. Very few people grow up there for a number of reasons that we may not need to get into. But it's not the safest place to grow tobacco. But we grow tobacco there. So the wrapper and binder, both Olancha San Agustin Honduran. Uh, in the filler, you also have more Honduran from the Hamastron Valley. You have some beautiful Ometepe Island tobacco from Nicaragua, and of course, you got Piloto Cabana. So you have two great regions represented from Honduras. You have the exclusive island of Ometepe, Nicaragua, represented there, and the signature leaf drought all the Cohiba Piloto Cabana. So it's a very, very keen blend. It's not over the top as far as strength, but it's a
right.
little bit earthier than the other cigars in the profile, but you still have that nice sort of sweetness to it. Not like this elegant smoothness, but it's still smooth. It's just a solid cigar, you know.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And earthy. I really like earthy cigars, and so that's why it was easy for me to gravitate to this one. Now I haven't had yet the pleasure of the Spectrum, so
Okay.
we 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 have to talk about that. Tell me about that Spectrum.
Well,
And
Spectre, I mean, it's different every year. So this year's the highlights of this one is the Ecuador Habano wrapper, the broadleaf, which is 5-year-old binder. You have some of the La Entrada de Copel tobacco, which is a farm that we don't grow anymore in Honduras. So the Spectre every year is about finding some of the rarest tobacco that we have and reimagining it in a new blend. So it's never going to be two Spectres that are the same. Profiles are never going to be the same. And then there's a certain way that those cigars are made as far as their aging. There's always some component of the tobacco that's sherry barrel aged that gives this really pronounced sweetness. They're all buried in cedar coffins for months before they're actually released for sale, so they pick up a little bit more richness. So it's a lot that goes into it, and there's only one pair, two people that roll those. It's the same man and woman that touch all the Spectres. One person is doing the bunching, and one person is doing the wrapper, and it's been the same pair since 2018, and that's until hopefully we don't lose these two. Well, I can't say rollers. One is a Puntero and one is a Torcedor. One does the bunching, one does the wrapper. So hopefully we keep this pair together because they've been the only ones that have ever touched Spectre cigar since 2018. So it's a very special cigar.
well, how much input did you have, particularly with the packaging? Because I was at a lounge in Fort Lauderdale. They had this. I mean, I was like, what the? And as I got closer, I was like, oh my God, this is Cohiba. What? Because it was beautiful. I mean, it was black. It looked like
So
black
so so so,
gold.
so for the record, as a kid, I wanted to be an architect. as a kid, but that's as close as I got to packaging design. Right, I'm a cigar maker. I don't design packaging. My input with the packaging is, we hire some really good agencies. They put together some concepts, and we may influence it a little bit from a color standpoint. Input as to the inspirations behind it. This particular one, and I say me in particular, Matt is a guy that you most people rarely see. You may see from time to time me in a picture with this young guy, dark hair. Really, it looks like he's 12 years old, but he's like a boy genius. He's like a really, really smart kid. But he deals with a lot of the sort of back end, like nuts and bolts branding stuff. And he's really, really tight with that. So he and I, we kind of kicked around the idea we wanted. And this year's in particular, well, not this year's, I guess 2021, was inspired by high-end whiskey packaging. So that was some of the inspiration behind it. And we kind of, you put together a mood board, or we kind of give ideas of what we want. They put together a mood board, and that kind of leads the process. But then the agency, a combination of the agency and our in-house design team, they kick it around and throw out a few options. And then my input is like, yes, I like that. No, I don't like that. So.
Well, I mean, as the brand ambassador, I think it always helps, if you do like it. It's easier to, get into it.
Oh, no. Believe me, I have to like it. Yeah, that's yeah.
Right. I get that because you're pushing it, so you have to like it. I understand that.
Yeah.
But
if I don't like it, there's a problem, right?
But you can tell that a lot went into it, and it was really taken seriously. And like I said, it's sexier, and it draws you in to the point where you're like, you know what, I need to go ahead, and try that. I had some other business stuff, going on, because I'm gonna have to be able to, get 3 of them, because I have to smoke in 3 different settings.
You don't have to get 3 of them. I mean, you can.
Well, I have to know in different.
There's no rule. There's no law. There's no 3 spectrum minimum. You don't have to get 3.
No, but I do, because I like to be in different settings to really know if I liked it. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's just how I get down. Just so, because sometimes if I'm by myself relaxing, it's going to hit me differently than if I'm, hanging out with some of my friends. It just depends. That's just how I like to do it, Sean.
Understood.
That's just how I like. Now let's talk about relationships, because I've been trying to explain, because Atlanta gets on my nerves, honestly. They just try to do too much sometimes with the whole cigar thing. It's not as large. It's a small niche of people, really, this whole industry. And what I've seen is people crash and burn. And I learned this early back in college, Clemson University. You have to value relationships.
You say Clemson or Quincy? Clemson. All right. Pound them, Tigers. Pound them. All right. Got it.
Sean, you don't know this, but I finished 4th all time in 3-pointers at Clemson. So,
I did not know that.
Yeah. If I can't shoot, I can't eat.
So you were a hoopster. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Right, good for you.
I got a chance to catapult overseas for a bit, because we didn't have the WNBA. We were before social media, before YouTube. I mean, I think during my time we only could play on television twice. So it was exciting to see that the game has come as far as it has. It really has.
Understood.
But like with relationships, because Rick, paid you an awesome compliment. He said, I met him. He said, I met him, and the only thing I knew is I gotta have this guy in my life. But he said he didn't get your name at that time, and then like a year or so later, I ran into one another.
Yeah.
And he said it's just been, great, ever since. But it was that initial relationship, because he said you guys just talked about family, and you never mentioned that you had your own cigar company. It was just about, life and family.
Yeah, I mean, it was his show at the time. He was actually the face of La Gloria Cubana, actually.
Right.
So he was doing an event here at Holland Cigar Bar, and we started talking. So it was his event, his show. So I was going to spend time bumping gums about, my cigar brand, especially at the time he was young. Enjoyed talking to him, learning from him. We talk about everything aside from cigars, right?
Right.
Connected not long after that, and as fate would have it, he'd be a person to give me a call to see if I'd be interested in doing what he did for Cohiba.
Right. Like I said, relationships. People
Absolutely.
don't value them. Um, and I was talking to some of these guys that open up these shops, and they always saying they want to have a rep come through. And I said, well, you haven't trained. First of all, I think you have to train your patrons to patronize. We don't want reps standing there for 2, 3, 4 hours and don't even move a half a box of cigars. You know, that's not what this business, is about. But you have to also appreciate your customers. Like I think when you take care of your customers, from a customer service and having a diverse amount of cigars to choose from. And then sometimes, hey, if you're watching the game, just throw some pizza out there, just customer appreciation. So when reps come in, they understand that, hey, this is all, part of the give back. And so
Yeah.
I've seen a lot crash and burn, and they just want people to come out and want something for free. I mean, there's cost associated with. I mean, you
You're
know,
not kidding. Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know. And
yeah.
so, but if you would just share your take on the valued relationships that you've come across just since you've been in this business.
Yeah, I mean, without solid relationships, I wouldn't still be in this business. I mean, I don't, to put it plainly, from this opportunity that was presented to me by General Cigar through Rick, who was a person that reached out to me, to some of the toughest times I had in the cigar business, which this is a tough business, very resource intensive, very capital intensive, very stressful, and relationships are important as it comes to getting the right suppliers, getting factories to work with you, really support your mission, so to speak, and also with retailers, we're getting them to trust you when you put a product out that you're going to stand behind it. So, and that's all about relationships, especially when I was in the boutique world. I mean, I got to a point where it didn't matter what I put out. I had a nice small universe of cigar shops in different parts of the country that I didn't have to give them a sample. If I told them, hey, I have this coming out in the summer, and they'll be like, hey, okay, give me 12 boxes, give me 20 boxes, give me 50 boxes.
Right. Right.
And that was all about relationships.
Right.
And that's what I think a lot of the young cats are missing now because of social media. It was just different. When I started my cigar brand 16 years ago, 16 years ago. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you had to go door to door, shake hands, hand a shop owner a sample, maybe their key employees or their key customers if they so chose to share it with them. But you had to hand out cigars, shake hands, sit there and smoke and meet people. So inevitably, you build relationships, and those relationships carried me through a decade of this business before coming on board with Cohiba. And a lot of new companies coming out now, a lot of stuff they do is just via social media, which you build relationships that way, but you don't build, you certainly don't build the brick and mortar relationships the same way. But you don't have to. Now, conversely, also they have the ability where they can launch Cigar now, sell direct to consumer. That wasn't even an option when I came on.
Right.
So it's different in a sense. But with that being said, ultimately, I still fall on the side of having solid relationships that can sustain you, as opposed to just an online platform, because that's a different universe you're fighting in there.
Right. What would your not advice but recommendation? What recommendation would you have for someone that think that they want to get into the when I say the business, because there's so many different levels you can get into, but particularly if you want to have your own cigar, because like I said, there's a lot of people.
Honestly, my first advice is don't. You want to be honest? I don't, but it does stop people. I get messages or text messages if for some reason they got my number from somebody or whatever, almost on a daily basis from people wanting to start a cigar brand and asking my advice. And my first advice is don't do it because it's not what most people think. It's just
Right.
not. And most people have a full-time job or some other full-time business, and they want to do this on the side. And
No.
I don't know how you do this on the side as a side business. You know, I mean, unless it's going to be something local or you're doing it out of your shop or something. Okay, that's different. But you know, a lot of people come in and have these grandiose ideas about how they're going to set the industry on fire and what's not there. Or there's nothing like this out there. It's like, well, actually, there is. Like, there's nothing new under the sun. It's. I can't think of anything that's come out. I'm like, wow, that's new. I've never seen that.
Right.
Maybe it didn't. It came out and it didn't really rise to national prominence, but it's really not. The only thing new now is that we're getting more young brothers in particular and sisters, you know, who are putting cigars out. So they're more. There's more diversity in the way of black cigar brands out there. Still have a long way to go as far as getting those brands on solid footing. And it's no shade on the black cigar brands. I mean, it's a smaller sampling when you look at you know, whites or Cuban or even Jewish cigar brands. So it's a smaller sort of growing segment, but they fall trap to a lot of things that a lot of upstart cigar brands have before. But it's magnified a little bit more because it's such a smaller group, right?
Right.
So there's some work and some tightening up of the screws that the segment certainly needs to do, and I'm hoping that it gets done.
Right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Sometimes the best thing you can do is not to do, because it's like it's tough. I mean, I think, and I may be wrong about this, but I remember talking to Robert Caldwell, and he said that it's upwards of $100,000+ you know, if not more, like per blend, per blend. And he said, and if you're not, you know, you can't just step out here thinking that, hey, this is just gonna, you know, take off and I'm gonna be a millionaire in 2 years. He said it's just not.
Yeah, easy way to be a millionaire is to start out a multimillionaire. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, I guess depending on how you do it, yeah, you quickly lose in this game. Because, like I said, for me, I just I don't like. I like the smaller, more intimate cigar settings. I really don't like all the rah rah and the loud music, and you know, it just gets crazy. But it's gone mainstream, so you're going to get all the stuff that come along with being mainstream. Let me ask you this question with Cohiba. So what's new? What's new for 2022-23?
Well, 22. Certainly this year we'll have another Spectre coming out later in the year. Another Weller by Cohiba release, which, you know, second chapter of this great partnership we have with Weller Bourbon, and we're doing another Series M release this year. So those are the three things that we got coming out. So 3 special releases again this year, which I like doing. Those are always fun to do. You get to be a lot more creative, have a lot more flexibility on what you want to do because it's a special release and it's limited.
Okay.
In 2023, we have a few more special releases, but we also have and then we'll also have another full-time regular release, something that's going to live on the price sheet and live in the humidor is supposed to be, you know, special release one and done. So next year is when people can look out for something, a new regular production cigar for Cohiba, which is going to be something that's going to be, like I said, something that's going to be sold in perpetuity as opposed to the limited release stuff that we've been doing.
When you say I need to be educated on that, when you say live on the price sheet, what does that mean exactly?
Well, because if you get your hands on a general cigar price sheet, you have everything on there from you know, all the Macanudos, CAO, Punch, Cohiba, and you'll see all these things on the price sheet. Well, you won't see Siri M on the price sheet. You won't see Spectre on the price sheet. You won't see Weller on the price sheet because those are released once a year.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So they're not on the price sheet. There are sell sheets for those, but they don't live on our standard price sheet.
Got it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've always been a fan of the brand, but I've enjoyed enough of them to know that there's been some tweaking, going on, different stuff like that.
Mhm.
Because, like I said, it's one thing to have a cigar, and that branding really makes you want to try it. It just does, And in general, I mean, they're huge, and I like how Rick kind of broke it down with you all's three factories. He said, it's like McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Well, it's all hamburgers, but you know what taste associates with each.
Yeah.
And
CAO is primarily made in Nicaragua and Honduras. Cohiba is primarily made in Dominican Republic. Macanudos primarily made in Dominican Republic. So yeah, and then there's other brands as well that and that's important because that gives us distinctive palettes, that the cigars will gravitate to because they are different.
yeah, it was fun for me because I first met you in 2019 at the trade show there in Vegas, and it was actually on my birthday, and that's when you shared, "Hey, my birthday's tomorrow." Sean, those 10 days in Vegas almost killed me.
You were in Vegas for 10 days?
Yes.
Why? Why were you in Vegas for 10 days?
Well, because it was the end of the 40s. That was my 49th, and it was birthday week. And one of my homegirls, Rusha Brown, we played against each other in college. She was a standout at Furman University, and she was there, working with that team, the WNBA team at the time. And so we just decided to just go all out, and it almost killed me for real. I don't know how people live there. I don't know how people live in Vegas. I mean, I had
people live in Vegas aren't partying for 10 days.
This is like, and Ed Reed, he was kind. He at the end of the night, he had shut down a restaurant. He had the chef stay and did a birthday dinner for me and my friends. And I just remember showering, drinking, smoking cigars, and a little bit of eating. And I remember a guy coming up to me, and he gave me this flyer, and on the back it had all of these services that he would perform in these price points. I said, "What, from foot massage to everything else." And I said, "Damn, only in Vegas, boy." I said, "You're putting too much pressure on my relationship." And then you know what he hit me with? "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas." And I was like, "Nah, I'm good.
You can try that if you like.
No, it's too much going on. But now, like this is collard greens, kale, kiwi, pineapple, little ginger. It's one of my drinks that I drink to make sure that I'm taking care of myself inside and out.
I thought that was iced coffee. Wow.
Less than 2% of the world's population is allergic to caffeine, and I'm one of them.
Really?
Yeah, so it's no chocolate, for me. I can have Fanta, but I just stay with ginger ale, some Sprite.
Wow.
And I'm very conscientious about, I don't eat too much food that's kind of mixed up because I just don't want, any mishaps.
Understood. Yeah. I can't live without caffeine though. So.
Well, talk about that, the pairings, because I'm saying that because I don't drink wine, and I know you're gonna trip when I say this. If I could have coffee, I wouldn't. I don't like the way it smells. It smells like a burnt skunk to me. I know I said it, John. I said it.
Yeah, I don't know what coffee you're smelling, but okay.
All of it. It's
Hey,
stinky.
listen, if you don't like, there's no there's no rule that says you have to like coffee. There's nothing.
It's
I get
stinky.
it.
It's stinky to me.
Yeah, I'm the
You know,
opposite. I love the smell of brewing coffee. So yeah.
right? You know, because I know that. Now I am smart enough to know and realize the pairings and why cigars, depending on which one that you're enjoying with a certain wine or a certain coffee, because they're kind of right in there together. Um, but I've found that cranberry juice, works for me too.
I there's not many fruit juices that I can really do with cigar. Maybe apple juice because it's not so overpowering. Orange juice is out. The citrus is just overpowering.
Yeah, not with OJ. No.
Cranberry juice, maybe depending on the cigar. Yeah, but I don't do many fruit juices with cigars at all. Really, it's not my thing. I do probably more than anything. Like what I'm drinking right now, sweet tea. I have that a lot, especially with the Connecticut or if it's during the day. I mean, I can't. You're not drinking. At least I'm not drinking. Bourbon and scotch during the day, and I don't really drink sodas. So, yeah. So
Well,
I mean, I probably have one or two Cokes a month, maybe. Then aside from that, it's I do drink a lot of sweet tea though, so I don't know if that's any better.
right, but this is a true story. I'm not lying to you. I've only had brown liquor twice, and I understand. I think it all kind of starts out brown, but um, I only had it twice in my life. Both times, I ended up in jail. And if it wasn't for the fact that I was a small basketball star, I probably would have reaped the true. Uh, and I've always told people there is black privilege too. I've experienced it.
Wow.
Look, hey, I'm just being honest. So that was the common denominator. What did I do differently?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was doing shots of bourbon uh, with one of my Clemson guys. He was on the offensive line. We called him Future because he's so big. We say he's big as the future.
Oh
And
wow.
and we were he put the bottle on the table and we went through the bottle and then we decided to go hang out, and I just wasn't seeing or hearing anything that was really happening like it's supposed to be. So I just said maybe brown isn't for me. And I know some people say they get crazy with white liquor. I don't know just
Yeah.
what happens. Sometimes you got to know. You know, I know when I don't have brown, life is good.
Okay. So what do you drink? You don't drink wine, and you don't drink brown liquor. You drink vodka, tequila.
I love Kettle One,
Okay.
and
Vodka.
and then when I really want to turn it up, I do tequila,
Okay.
and I really like that Ray and Nephew, that Jamaican white rum. I like that too.
Oh my God. What? That's disgusting. It's disgusting. Why don't you just drink jet fuel? Oh my God.
I I,
Oh,
I like it. You want it, and you can feel it like when it's starting to do what it does. You can feel like you get so hot on the inside, and then and this is what was going on those 10 days. I was and when I got back to Atlanta, I just took my kidney and my liver out and soaked it in the bathtub because I had it. I had it,
oh, you
and
survived. All good. All good.
yeah, well, it was a treat. My honey had gotten me a sweet because he was out of the country. 'Cause he's military,
Okay.
and he got me this nice sweet, and so I was living the life for 10 days.
Awesome. Good.
And but he did ask me when I got back. He said, "I don't give a damn about any slogans. I better not hear about anything happening in Vegas." And I said, "Well, if it did, I don't even remember." So I just told him, "You got to charge it, to my heart, because
Mhm.
I damn
All
sure don't remember anything that happened." Last question. I'm gonna let you get out of here because I know you're a busy guy.
right.
That type of thing. Um, a lot of my viewers always have these questions and things like that.
Okay.
And one guy in particular wanted me, to ask you. He's kind of a beginner, and someone gave him. I want to say it was the Black Label
Okay.
Cohiba, and he said that he just know he crashed and burned, and he said he was overpowered uh, in the Cohiba. Those that are just starting out, uh, that's a fan of the brand, what would you say that how they should scale themselves? Start out with this, and then work their way into something.
Oh, if they're just starting out, I mean, the classic red dot, the Cameroon, that's a good way to go. That's going to be medium body, maybe a hair below medium. The blue is going to be solid medium body, which is smoke, or the Connecticut. Either of those, they can't go wrong. Just kind of depending on what they're looking for. If they do something like something earthy with a little sort of baked goods profile, then that's the one you smoke in the blue. If they want something a little bit creamier, a little bit more buttery, that's going to be the Connecticut. If they want something that's a little richer, a little bit more cedar to it, that's going to be the red dot. But either of those is easy to go. So the red dot, the blue, or the Connecticut, can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. So stay away from the black if you're just starting out.
Well, the black is not, the Nicaragua is stronger than the black, and the Royale is certainly the strongest in the line. So black it's solid. I think they may have gotten more intimidated by the look of it than the actual power, because it's just a hair above medium. It's right. It's rich and smoky and black chocolate sweetness to it, but it's not a big nicotine bomb. So, but you know what? Certain tobacco hits people certain ways. They may not respond well to Connecticut broadleaf. Who knows? So,
Well, I told them the truth. I said, look, you're coming from smoking Tatianas, so I mean,
well, that's different. Yeah.
just
Okay.
about anything. Because he said he just got tired of, uh, his friends teasing him because he said he would pull out his Tatiana, and they said, "What's going on with this Febreze, man? You can't come in here with juice boxes." And I said, "I'm not going to put your name out there," but so he's no longer doing juice boxes, and so he'd have been trying to jump out there, too strong, and then he smoked a double Ajero LFD, and they had to carry him out of there. And I said, "See, I don't know, be true to who you are still."
Yeah. He'll take his time, and he'll land on like what his profile is as far as strength and flavor and whatnot. So,
And I told him, you can't eat a 20-piece extra spicy hot wing and then go into something also. Like he was messing up all the way around.
Gotta take your time.
Yeah, I told him you can enjoy your hot wings and stuff when you're smoking vanilla.
Yeah.
And that's a true story. I was doing some work with Ray Lewis, and we were at this restaurant that he frequent. He walks in with this big ass suitcase, and he's like, "Hey, we getting ready to turn it up, And he opened it up, and we all kind of jumped back because it was a suitcase full of vanilla cigars. And when he opened it up, vanilla just shot out. And I said, Ray, you're a big dude, man. Like, no doubt about it. But we're gonna have to graduate. We're gonna have to move on away from these. And he's like, "For real, Ray?" I said, "Yes, for real." Because, I mean, you got all of us excited, but look at our face. Look at our reaction. When have you ever? We don't smoke, to each his own. But when you said we're gonna turn up, we're not turning up with vanilla flavored cigars.
Yeah, I'm going to turn you down. Actually, is what I'm going to do right now. Yeah.
Right. That's what I told him. You done turned us down and off.
Turned us off.
And he's like, "So I should just close this up?" I said, "No, smoke it if that's what you want to do. But I'm getting ready to hit Google, and I'll be back. I got to go find, some sticks and, and I'll be back." Because he said, and he's graduated. He's graduated since.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, because me and Ed Reed, we like to tease him about that. You come in the building 6'2", 6'3", 250 solid muscle and pull out a suitcase of
Hey,
vanilla snicks. Vanilla
listen,
snicks.
a lot of people smoking. There's a lot of big burly dudes smoke flavored cigars. God bless them.
Yeah, but I'd just be amazed because they have the tightest. I mean, they have the top of the line cigar accessories. Like you can't tell them nothing, and then they whip them out in all flavors: cherry bomb, chocolate, vanilla. Like okay. And then they're like, "Oh, you need to try this. This is infused, with bourbon." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, whatever."
Mm.
But thank you, for your time because, like I said, I know
Oh,
you're
thanks for having me.
a busy guy,
Thanks for having
and
me.
I think I think no, I don't think we're on the schedule to play the Saints. This season coming up, but if we,
I haven't seen it. So, but listen, I'm not expecting much this year. Going into it, I was like, I hope we win 9 games. Then I got excited by the way we started off, and I thought, all right, we can win the division, make a run in the playoffs. Then the wheels fell off, and I was like, hope we win 9 games. We ended up winning 9 games. So I was just happy we had a winning season. 9 games. It was 17 games. Whatever, we had a winning season, whatever it was, right?
right.
So I'm just hoping that next year we can have another win. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know who's going to be under center. I like that we kept Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, kept him on as head coach. I like that. That's a good move, but we'll see what happens in the offseason. So I wouldn't be excited if you told me we were playing y'all one way or the other right now because I have no idea what to expect.
Well, I think Taysom Hill. I think he's best how they were using him before.
Yeah, he's best as a changeup. He can't. He's not the main course.
Yeah, he can't carry the load like
And I
that.
love Taysom Hill, but he's not. You're not building your offense around Taysom Hill.
Yeah, but I like how he was able to structure his contract based on all that he does.
Listen, if they're gonna give you the money, get the money, right? I think we overpaid, but again, I make cigars. I don't make football rosters. So
Right. And last question before we get out of here: NBA, who's going to win it this year?
Out of the West, I mean, if Golden State doesn't do it, I'd be surprised. But I'm thinking Golden State, maybe Phoenix, but I think it's gonna be out of the West.
Yeah, I
What do you
think
think?
I'm thinking if the Warriors stay healthy,
That's the key.
If they stay healthy, look how much offense you have to just stay in the game with them.
Yeah,
Just to stay in the game.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't see I don't see anything coming out of the East right now.
Nah, it certainly won't be the Wizards. So
No, no, it won't. No, it won't.
Be the Wizards. Yeah.
Hey, enjoy your hump day.
Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's a few miles of sunlight, so I'm going to enjoy it. Got to run and get my daughter from school. Got to take a couple of calls, and then I'll settle in and finish up some more cigars. And Lakers tonight playing Phoenix at 10, so I'll be watching that. So
Yeah, well, I like to say that Phoenix will be playing Phoenix.
So apparently you don't like the Lakers.
I'm all old school. I'm
old school as well. I like to see. I'm unabashedly a LeBron fan, so I like to see the Lakers kind of come back to prominence. But talking about the wheels falling off, man. One thing you can't account for is injuries, right?
It'll change a whole series. Like when Durant went down a couple of seasons back, the whole series changed. And
even this year with the Nets, I mean, they only had a handful of games that all three were on the court together. So
that changes.
Your best ability is availability. So,
and I thought that you see the game change significantly the Super Bowl when Odell went down. Mm-hmm. Injuries that just messes up everything. So
yeah.
Good.
So So
But thank
enjoy the rest
you.
of your day. Enjoy the NBA action tonight, and
I
have
will.
me on again.
Absolutely. And thank you again.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.